Stock tips, large hole. These are great. Stock tips, small hole, a little more calm and reserved, a little less big. Duconi tips. These are much more dramatic. I'm being performed to in a good way. Jesus, Said in a Fit X Elastics, double the soundstage and tone the highs down a bit, so it's not quite the same sound, but oh my, what happened? How did that? Where the hell's the knob? I need the knob to turn this down. Render ear tips. The ones from my collab, the ones that are like the foam and the real good seal. These are not a $50 IM. I'm sure they're tuned. By the way, hi, I'm Zio Spantero, the host of In Ear Fetish. We're here with the Crinacle collab with the TruthEar Zero Project Reds, which is a dual dynamic 10 plus 7.8 or something in-ear. And I heard it. I got this set from Crinacle. He pulled it out of a magic bag like Santa. He was like, oh, we have one for you, and we have one for you. And I got it in Munich and traveled back with it. I heard this set in Munich, and Crinacle was in the room to tell me, oh, yeah, when you plug in, this is the set you should use, one with the smaller hole. And so I'm like, well, if that's the set I should use, why is one with the bigger hole an option? So immediately I listened to them on the smaller hole and was like, all right, these are very clean. These are very adult. These are tuned by, this is a measurement IM. We've got it. And then I put the ones with the bigger hole. And I'm like, well, I like these more. It was just more full, more open. It gave more. It just gave more. It was just felt more of what I want to hear out of most IMs, which is, I want to have a fucking good time. And I looked at the foams, and they're both medium, so that won't work with me. So I ignored the foams, although there are some medium foams, rather tacky ones in here. And so I knew when I sat down here at the desk, step one, all the tips. Because the difference I heard between just the exact same brand, make, shape tip, except the nozzle is probably 50% bigger, was huge. Huge difference. So now here, before I even get into the 10 ohm base adapter, we're going to talk about that in a second. Tips. You might notice I'm not using the stock cable. Here is the stock cable. It is cheap. It's perfectly fine for a $55 IEM. I think the other TruthEar Zero was probably the same exact cable. So, but that's fine. I'm okay. 3.5 millimeter right angle. I've swapped it out to my collab Chimera cable, which doesn't quite fit. I got to give the warning, because the IM itself, here's the IM, very pretty. It's like if you were gonna make knot wood, that's the most nice knot wood you can make, because it kind of looks like fish feather, like feathers laid across. I don't know. He gets a bunny girl. He gets a moderately busted bunny girl with a little purple tie. Son of a bitch. This is how rivalries start. Wait, I could do this now. This is how rivalries start. Anyway, Project Red. So, wallpaper. Back to it. Yeah, so the plug, I missed it in my ear already. The plug has a slightly box, so they could fit in the box, slightly box. And the Chimera one is a completely flush. So if I do another collab cable, it will not be a flush like this that is for the Let Shores. So it does, oops, don't. There. It does go in, it's just, it'll wiggle out over time. But for now, we have it balanced, and we're actually running it off a single-ended amplifier at this very moment. Let's swap. I could go via electric. I had it on the wah 11. It's just, I'm gonna have to go back to the stock tips, because these render tips, either the drugs are kicking in, or these render tips have turned these IEMs into one of my favorite of all time. So I don't care what something was designed to do. I care what something can do. Great line, Apollo 13. Go watch that movie. Sitting here with them, completely ignoring the wishes and wants of Crinacle, the band who tuned it, and TruthEar. I don't give a fuck. Don't care. I want to know what happens if I swap tips, what happens if I balance it, what happens if I push this $55 IEM to its limits. And it now sounds like a $700 IEM because of a tip change. Now, I'm not just going to be like, oh, buy Zeos' render tips. Hey. Named after Summertime Rendering, by the way, which is a fucking Disney property. Try all the tips. The only ones I don't have down here right now available are the Dunu SS, because I need the extra large for my right. But I think I've settled. I think this is the one. I think I found tip. All right, here's the thing. I'm gonna take them out of my ears right now. The nozzles for this IEM is the record right now. Like the amount of effort it took to get my poor look at them. They look like they spent a night in Prague drunk. In other words, the whole whatever. Look at the size of this nozzle. Do I have another like standard IEM Shinobu? Can I borrow a Z12, please? Thank you. Which is also a red thing, and it actually is red. But look at the size difference in nozzles here. That is like a 50% upcharge. And they're huge. It was the first thing I noticed when I changed tips on the thing. Yes, this was on that. Okay. This, by the way, this set of Z12s, I believe is, yeah, see, this one's red, but it's the left side. They printed out like 10 or 12 of them the wrong way, and I'm trying to collect them all, like Pokemon. So that's the largest nozzle I've ever seen in an IEM. I may have seen a larger one in like a 17 BA Russian-made unit that was at CanJam years ago, but that is single-handedly fucked up how hard it is to put things on it. Now, the tips that it comes with, I'm going to go back to the ones I did not like. Well, no. Preferred less. I'm going to go with preferred less. What, did I take the wrong sizes? I did. I need one small for the left. But look how big the hole is in the back. If I still had the thing that... This wouldn't even attach itself to a normal IEM. And I think you need to know that if you're going to try to do the things I'm going to ask you to do, which... I got this. We're all good here. Which is, you're going to buy a set of these. The nice thing is, I know I have a $50 collab coming out. Not this month, end of this month maybe. And it's fine. Because you know what? We don't have to compete. They're $50. You can buy them both. When I do a big expensive collab, I did the Nana collab, I was scared. I was like, oh shit, you know, this is it. People are going to buy this, and that's all they can afford. With a $50 collab, I highly recommend the Project Reds. I fucking highly recommend them. And when my collab eventually comes out, I don't know the name of it yet. We're trying to get past legal things. When that one comes out, you know what? I'm going to probably like that one fucking too. Because it's tuned in behind me. Let me see if I... Hold on. All right. Yeah, okay. Render tips. I'm just like, I'm tucked in and it's tight and it's clean and it's just the neatest like marching band of sound that's coming out of this. But this is the sort of sound I would expect out of a $250 or $300 IEM that is tuned not as bad as a Shure IEM. Those are way too like, but like, okay, it's trying to be neutral. It's trying to be like a monitoring IEM. It's like really focus on it. But then you swap tips and I can seemingly add as much fun, warmth, and width. The width on the fucking Sednafit X Elastics. This made Soundstage like seriously feel like it doubled. So, you know what? I don't care what you designed it to do. You've somehow made an IEM that just swaps around perception. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to... All right, this is back to the neutral, the standard, like very sort of narrow, but clean. The bass is there. You got presence. It's a great $55 IEM. with just the tip that I like the least. What we're going to try to do now is we're going to take my Chimera cable, which you can... Remember how to do this? Oh, fuck, this isn't the Chimera... This isn't the Chimera cable. This is one that was before the Chimera cable, where it was a fixed 4.4. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug that into there then, and then we're going to unplug this, and then we're going to take this apart, because this adapter is a 10 ohm adapter that comes with the IEM. For $50, you'd get the IEM. For $55, I like throw this in there with it, which I think a lot of people might just buy these IEMs to get this adapter to try it on other things. Because what it does is it adds a load across the amplifier, and it'll vary per amplifier. Please don't make me try it on all the amplifiers. But, and it should bring the bass up, which means it's bringing the treble and mid-range a little bit down. So it's going to just warp the thing. So if I unplug this and go straight here, I need something that actually has like mid-range treble, like balance. Perfect. Keys of Monogatari, track 3. Da 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 da. Immediate drop in volume. So I'm gonna have to raise the volume a lot. I gotta raise volume a fucking lot. I mean, I maxed it out on low gain. That is a murderous adapter. And it definitely has more bass, but it's not like visceral bass. It's just the entire like lower shelf just twists up. It's not like sub bass. That would require much more precise things than just adding a resistance. He also had like an 80 ohm adapter or something that he adds, just like here's just a fuck around one, and it made everything impossible to drive it. So much more power is required, and there's definitely more. Like this is just a kick drum. This is a slap. What is this? So it's a bass adapter. I would prefer just an EQ, honestly. It's great if you have nothing. If you're just like, I don't know what's going on, plug in, make go, that is indispensable. But whatever the problem is it's so hard to drive when you plug it in. If you're somebody that doesn't understand how to make audio go, that's not going to help you because you're coming out of such a shitty source anyway, you're never going to be able to use it. Let's go back to full balance now. And let's go back to, I think I'm liking, another thing is we're getting a lot of different, like from here to the Vioelectric stuff. Because it's a dynamic, dynamics love to change based on the shape of the amp. I didn't put on a tube amp to try it. I'm imagining it would also be a tremendous change to a tube amp or through a tube amp. Again, keep in mind, this is a $55 IEM. So I'm going to plug this back into this because I feel like, yeah, even with the tips that I'm just meh about, I think on the topping it sounds best. I may have to stop the camera to actually mount the render tips because the let's just say this should be censored with bars, because to get an IEM with an IEM tip with a small nozzle, you have to basically fingertip the tip. You got to take the urethra and you got to jam your fingernail into the urethra of the tip. And then when you feel your nail touch the nozzle, you roll it. That's how you get a tip on, by the way. This has been tip installation with Zeos. So yeah, you basically got to stretch and squash. You got to be a little bit mean to your tips to get them on. And then they go over. That was actually much easier the second time. A little bit more and she'll be down on the docks. All right. Perfectly sealed in my ears. That's what the render tips do. They don't just, they are lips that grip. They just are done. Once they're in your head, you have a fucking seal. Better than glue. Okay. Shimmy dang, bang bang, shimmy down, bang bang. Left hand free from Alt J. There's a 71.9% increase in soundstage immediately. The imaging, I don't get it. All I try to do when I do my collabs is get the tips right, because chips change everything. Just like on headphones, pads change everything. If you're buying Project Red, buy the render tips. And if you don't believe me, you can review this product on Shenzhen. You could get these and if you already have the tip, put them up, do a comment. Someone other than me tell me how the fuck these sound, because I'm listening to Asterix shamanic tales, and I'm in the rainforest, and there's people, there's birds, and there's a guy just chanting. The render tip, my Rinko collab, which is $100, is Tiger Blood Crazy. These are a calm, sorted Rinko for half the cost. That doesn't mean don't buy the Rinko, because those things are Tiger Blood fucking crazy and you can't get bass anywhere else. But these feel like when the very first person bought a Lexus like LS300, like GS300, like one of those old 90s ones. And it's so nice and so sorted, and it is a beautiful luxury car, and that is what Crinacle has delivered with these. And I'm the asshole that drags it into the garage in Need for Speed Underground 2 and puts the 22s on it and the paint job and the anime titties. Put render tips on these. Your fucking head will explode. Explode. There's a baby crying now, and I just cried through my brain. Asterix is... this is my sound demo list, by the way. Yeah, no, Berlin, Take My Breath. I gotta take this out of my head. They may have become one of my favorite IEMs. Like, I don't even want to compare it to like collabs or other things. Just don't want to compare it, because that's fucking hilarious. The amount of change that the tips cause, I don't think the actual wire, it's going to make a huge bit of difference. Like, it's fine. I just wanted to go balance. This is concern on my face. I'm only ashamed that Crinacle isn't pushing it. He should have this set of tips. And if you want to collab with me, you can message me. He should have his favorite preferred signature, and then this preferred signature, which is the Madman signature. Trust me on it. I would love to do a collab where I had so much control that I could literally just provide the thing. And what does it sound like, Zeos? And you have a lineup of like 7 different tips in all the different sizes. And they always do that like, oh, this is a vocal ear tip, and no, this is a bass ear tip. And they're never really serious, because it's just different silicones. You go from soft, very light silicone to the densest fucking foam earplug pucks on earth. The change is immense. I need to send, I think DMS has the reds. I think he got them in the room. I'm going to send him a set of the renders, because I need to know if we can shove these in his ears, because he's got little tiny ear holes. He needs to experience this. You need to experience this. So long live the Project Red Zeros, but please render them. Patreon, subscribe, star, support this channel. Click the sponsorship link. She's in the wallpaper horde with all the wallpapers I've ever used. Thank you to Crinacle for literally handing me these. I got to go put this up on the wall with the rest of them. So let's just we're done? Are you done? Good, I'm done. I'm running out of space.